video, I'm building a ChatGPT clone using ReactJS. So basically it's going to be a website that works exactly same like ChatGPT. You can type a message and then it will answer you from artificial intelligence, because we will make the connection between OpenAI API and our app. So we're going to get the same answer as ChatGPT does. We'll use ReactJS and OpenAI, and then we'll build this app. First, we'll make the connection between API, and then we'll build a component for messages, and then we'll style it. It's not going to be a very long tutorial. Then you can use this website for anything you want. You can customize it and you can make a ChatGPT like app or website that you can use for anything. So let's get started with this video. So first, let's go ahead and create a new React app with the command npx create React app. So first I will move to the desktop because I want to save that in desktop. Here on terminal, make sure to open terminal or command line if you are on Windows, and type cd desktop, and then you can just type npx create React app -app, and then you have to put the name of the app. So if the npx doesn't work for you, you have to make sure that you have installed Node.js and npm on your computer. So just go to the website, to the Google, and search for Node.js download, and then you can download Node.js download, and then just go to the website and download for your operating system, and then npx will work for your computer. So let's go ahead and create our app, npx create React app, and I'll just name it ChatGPT GPT-clone. Okay, so now we press enter, then this will create our app with a template. And during this time that is creating the app, let's go to Google and get our API key for ChatGPT and for OpenAI. So let's go to Google and search for OpenAI API key. So this will redirect you to the website, the platform of OpenAI, and then you have to register here. Make sure you have an account. I have already an account here, and you can see I am logged in. But if you are not logged in, just create a new account for your OpenAI, and then you can get the API keys on this website. So go to user and API keys, and then if it doesn't show for you, just click on personal and click on view API keys. And here are my API keys, and I'll create a new one and save it somewhere. So just create a new one and click on copy, then click on OK. Then let's go ahead to our terminal. Here, as you can see, it is created. If you see this happy hacking, it means that the app is created successfully. So let's go ahead and open this app in a text editor or code editor. I use a VS Code environment, but you can use anything you want. If you have VS Code 2, just type cd ChatGPT clone, and then you can type code dot, and this will open the project in VS Code. So if it doesn't work for you, just click on file and open a folder, and then you can open the folder of ChatGPT clone. Okay, so here I have the project here on my VS Code, and I'll make this a little large so you can easily see. Okay, now we have to start the server. So to start the server, open new terminal. So click on terminal and click on new, and then this will open terminal here on the below side. So now what you have to do is just to type yarn, because I'll use yarn, and yarn start. Just type yarn start, and this will start the server for you. But if the yarn doesn't work for you, you have just to install it, and to install it, just type npm I yarn. But I will show you right now what I mean. So let's stop this. If it doesn't work for you, just type npm I-g if you want to install yarn globally, and then type yarn. But before this command, you have to type sudo, because we are installing something globally. So just type sudo npm I-g yarn, and this will install yarn globally on your computer. I recommend you to use yarn because it's faster than npm. So yarn is basically just a package installer that you can install different packages, start the server, and do different commands. So let's go ahead and start the server. Yarn start, and then it will ask you if it asks you this, just type y, and this will start the server. Okay, here we have the app, and if you see this spinning, this is spinning like this, you are good and everything is working perfect. So I'll move this browser in the side and also the code in the other side. Okay, so here we have the code and here we have the browser, so we can see the changes. Okay, now the first thing you have to do is just to go to source, and we have to delete some things that we don't need. So the first thing is this app.test.js, and you can just delete it, or you can select it, press command, hold command, and then click on app.test.js, then click on logo.svg because we don't need it too, and also we don't need setup.test.js. So then just delete these, move to trash, and it will see this error message, but don't worry, we'll fix it. Go to app.js, and here we have to remove this import logo here. Remove this import and also remove this header. So delete the whole header here because we don't need it. Then click on save, and here we go. We have an empty project with it's white. And also I always recommend to install some extensions on my videos. So go to extensions and install React extension or ES7. This will help you a lot to autocomplete, auto import, and do other stuff. And also I recommend to install Prettier, which is a extension that will make your code look prettier and will format your code before saving it. So it will help you a lot. Then after installing these extensions, we can go ahead and start. Go ahead to app.css. And also we want to remove all these style sheet here. So just select all and remove it, save the file. And then what we have to do is to create the new. Okay, now that we have deleted this stuff, we have to create a new file where we'll make the connection between OpenAI and our app. So let's go to source and create a new file. You can call it whatever you want, but I will call it openai.js. So here we have to first install OpenAI in our project with the package of OpenAI, and then we'll use this package to connect with API and create our function to send messages. So let's go ahead and install OpenAI in terminal. So to create a new terminal, just click on plus. And as you can see, we have two terminals. One in Node is Node where we're running the server, and the other is this one where we can install anything we want. So to install OpenAI, just type yarn add OpenAI. Press enter, and this will install what we need. Okay guys, now it is installed successfully, and what we'll do with this package, we'll import it in our file here, and then we'll use their configuration functions to make connection between OpenAI and our app. So let's get started with this, and let's first import the OpenAI and configuration. So to import, just type const and create an object or with curly brackets and type configuration. And also we want to import OpenAI. So OpenAI API. Make sure to type it like this because otherwise it will not work. So equal to require, and here just type OpenAI because we want to import it from OpenAI. Just type OpenAI, and here we got the import. So now let's paste our key, so open API key that we just copied from the website. So just create a new constant or new variable, and I'll call it just API key. And this will be a string where you have to paste just the API key that we copied. So here's my API key. I will delete it after building this project. So don't try to get it or to use it for your own project because it will not work. So now we have to create the configuration variable. So let's go ahead and create a configuration variable, const configuration equal to a new configuration that we imported from OpenAI. And then here inside this function, we have to put an object, and inside this object, it will be only the API key. So just type API key, and then the API key is going to be the API key that we just created. So here we have the configuration file, the configuration variable, and then we'll use this configuration variable in to create our OpenAI object. So just type const again and OpenAI equal to new OpenAI API, And then inside this, we have to put the configuration variable. So just type configuration. Now we got the OpenAI, and then you can use OpenAI to create our function. So we'll just create a simple function that will create a completion. This is how it's called in OpenAI. The completion is just the messages that we'll send. We can send a prompt, which will be the message, and then with this message we can get the response and use it. So let's go ahead and create the message, and first we have to export it because we'll export it to use it in our file. So export. And this will be an async function, so async function, and it will be, I will call it send message to OpenAI, message to OpenAI, and this function will get the message. So we want the message from the user, so just type message. And this function will create a response or an object that a call to the API. So just type const response equal to await, because we're sending a request to an API and we need to use async await function. So await OpenAI, that will just create it, and then click dot create completion. Create. As you can see, there are a lot of functions here that we can do with OpenAI platform or their API. We can create images, we can create files, embedding, edits, completion, chats, transcriptions, a lot of things that we can do. And if you want any video about them, just let me know, because I can do any video that you want about this OpenAI and API, so we can build different apps with ReactJS. So let's get started with our video here. Create a completion. So we have to create a completion. As I told you before, it's like creating a chat. So completion is used to chat, and this will take an object, and inside this object we have to put the model first, and the model is going to be text DaVinci 003. So this is how they call it. So text dash DaVinci dash 003, and then the other attribute will be prompt. Prompt is basically just the message, so just put the message here, is the user message, and then we have to put the temperature, and temperature is how creative we want the bot to be. So you can put a number from 0 to 1, and then it will make it more creative or less creative. So let's go ahead and put 0. We want it to be creative, so we'll just type 0.9 in our case, and then what we need is the max token. So this is going to be the max token of the response we'll get. I'll put it to 256, and then we need three more things. That is top P. I don't really know what it is, but they require it, so you can search on the internet about it if you want. And also we want a frequency penalty and to be 0, and also we need presence penalty to be 0 too. So make sure to type all of these in this object here of a response, and then this will work perfect for you. Then after we create this object, we want to return from this object, from this function, the response.data and .choices, because this will return an object with choices that will contain different information, but the first attribute or the first thing that will return these choices is the text message from the bot, so from the artificial intelligence. So let's go ahead and get the first object here, and just type square brackets and type 0 to get the first one, and then .text because we want the text from it. So here is our function. I know it's kind of confusing right now because we're still not making it to work, but make sure to type all of this file like this and it will work for you. So just now make sure to save it, save all of this file, and now we don't need anything from here. And now let's go ahead to app. So here we'll create our app. We'll create the message component, or actually we're not going to create a message component because we don't really need it, because it's a very small app, so we can do all the stuff here, so inside this app. So first what we need to do here, I'll create two two states here. One is going to be for input and one is going to be for messages. So just type const input and set input equal to use state from, and if you can see here, it shows you automatically. Just click on this and it will automatically import, but if it doesn't, make sure to import it correctly like this. So inside this is going to have just an empty string, because we'll use this to get the input of the user. That's all. So another one is const messages, and here we'll use this to save messages. So set messages is going to be the function, and equal to use state again, and this is going to contain an object, an empty object. So here we'll save the different messages within these two states. So now let's go ahead and create the chat. So first let's go ahead and create a div with a class name chat. So here is the div chat, and then inside this div we'll put the messages. So we'll put a message. So it's going to work like this. So we're going to have a div with a message that will contain the message, but here on this div we'll put two classes. One is going to be for the user message, and one is for the artificial intelligence message, or for the bot message. We are going to change this class based on how the messages is coming from user or from the bot. If it's coming from the bot, we'll make it to be on the left side of the screen, and if it's coming from the user, we'll make it to be on the right side. So this is how the most of the chats functions. So here on this way we are going to make it too. So let's go ahead and start. So here inside the chat, actually we have to map the messages, but we haven't created the messages yet. So I'll just create a div with the class name user message. So user dash message. Press enter, and then we're also going to have another class for the bot message, but we'll create it later. And for now, just type the message here, or maybe this is a message. This is a message, and below that we will create an input. So below the chat, we'll just create an input. So here is a chat, and below the chat we'll create a div for the input. So I'll call it input container. So input dash container, and here is a div, and inside this div we're going to have an input. So here is input, and the type is going to be text. The value will be the input state that we created. So we want to update and to save this input in the state. So input is going to be the value, and then we have to type the onChange function. So onChange, every time this input is going to change, is going to be equal to the set input function. But first we want to get the E. So E is the event, and from event we can get the value of the input. That's how we use the event. So E and set input, and input is going to be the e.target.value. So this is going to get the value from the input. So if you save this, it will show you on the website. It's going to be this, just only this this input box, and also this this is a message. But also we are going to create a button. So we can create a button to send the messages. So let's go ahead, create a button, and this will be just send. And inside this button, we are going to create a function on click. We are going to create a function that will handle all the send message functions. So for now, just type handle send, and then we'll save it. It will show you that the handle send is not defined, so we'll create it on top. So below the use state messages, we'll create a new function. So const handle send equal to a function. This is the ES7 syntax. And this inside this function, for now, I'll just console log send or sent like this. Okay, so here we have the box, input box, and send message. Okay, now I'll add some style on this website or on this design here, because I want to make it look a lot better, and then we can work on the function on getting the function or sending the request to the API and then getting the response. But before doing this, I'll create another div for the bot message. So just copy another div here because I want to make it to show you how it works. So bot message. Okay. So now we have two messages. One is for the bot and one is for the, or let's type this is a message, a user message, and this is a bot message. Okay. So now let's go ahead and style all of this website. So let's go to app.css. So first let's go ahead and get the class of the app, and inside this we have to use display flags. So display flags, and also flags direction is going to be column because we want the messages to be on column as always, and then align items to be center, and also we want justify content to be on center, and also we want height is 100 VH. This means 100 VH means that we want the height of the website to be full of the page. So if the page is like this, so we have all page, and then we want to be the height for full of the website that is loaded. So this 100 V height is like 100% of the height of the website. So let's go ahead, and if we save this, we will see this. We'll put everything on center, and then we have to get the chat class. So chat. And inside the chat, we also want to use display flags. So display flags, and then justify flags direction is the big column because we want the messages to be on column, and align items is going to be flag start. So we'll align it to the start of the flags, and if we save it, it's not going to make a change right now, but let's go ahead and put align justify content. Also is going to be flags start. Okay, and height I will put about 80%. And also we want the overflow Y scroll. So overflow Y means that if we have more than, like, we have one or two messages, not going to go an overflow. But if we have more messages, like we have like 20 messages or 50 messages, and when we don't want to show all these messages on the same page, so if it overflows, we want to make it to scroll, so we can scroll to all the messages. This is how it works, the overflow. And then as you can see now, we save the file, and we have the sent is on the bottom and the messages on top. So then what we can do here, what else we can add, is to add just some padding. Let's just add some padding and about 10 px. Okay, so now let's go ahead to get the user message. So first I'll design the user message, user dash message, and the background color we'll put it is an hexadecimal number, so F2, F2, F2. So make sure to put this color, and color is going to be black, so text color is black. And also we want align self to be flex end. And also we want margin, so margin, and the margin is going to be 5px, 0 for top. And then here we have a little better. So what else we need? We need some padding. Padding is going to be 10px 0. No, just 10px. 10px is good. So what else? We have border radius. Border radius to be 10px for border radius. So it's going to make the border look different. So here we got border radius, and okay, max width, I will add max width is 50%, and also word wrap. So as you can see, the words are just wrapping to each other. So we're gonna type work wrap break word, and this will fix it later. So now we got the user message. As you can see, it's here. So here is a user message, but we want to also design the bot message. So for the bot message, just type bot message dash message. And here inside this class, we want to use display flex. We're just going to type display flex. And we also want justify content to be center. And what else we can add? Align items to be center again. And also we want width to be 100%. And height is 20%. And padding is 10px. So we save it, and here is the bot message. Now the input, we're gonna make some design to the input, and input that contain type text. So if the input has this type equal to text. So for each input that has type text, we want to make width 70%. And the padding to be 10px. And border radius 5px. And what else? We want to add some border 1px solid green. And outline none. So we don't want outline. None. Okay, so here it is. It looks a little better. So now what we can do is to design the button. So for the button, just type button. And here for the button, we'll add a width 20%. And then we want the padding. Padding is about 10px. And then border radius to be 5px. Here's the button. We want the border none, so we don't want any border for it. So border none. And also we want outline none. Anytime we click it, we don't want that outline border that we create. So background color, it will be a hexadecimal of 4CAF50. It's like a green one. So if you save it, here is the send button. And color is going to be white. And also we want to make the cursor pointer. So here we go, we have the send button, and also button hover. So every time we hover the button, we want to make the opacity 0.8. So here, as you can see, it changed the opacity. Here you can type a message and click on send. Actually, I have made a mistake here. So here on bot message, you have to actually get the input dash container input dash container div. So if you save it, it's gonna see that it will fix some things. I have messed up the classes here. So here I have the message, and also we will create the bot message. So here below user dash message, just type bot dash message, and here inside this is going to have a background color. It will be this hexadecimal, and then below we want the color white. And if you save it, you're gonna see the bot message, and then we want align self flex start. It's gonna be almost like the user message. And then margin is going to be 5px0. And also the padding 10px. So as you can see, if you save it, And then what else we need? Padding a border radius dash radius is 10px. As you can see, we got the message. And also what else we need is max width 50%. And word wrap break word. And also here on chat, if you want, you can add a width 80%, and this will make it width 80%. And here is the messages. So also, as you can see, is a problem here with the button. And I think we did another mistake here on app.js. We have put the button outside the input container. So just delete it from here and put it inside the input container. And if we save it, and it will show you in the same line with the input. So what else we can do this 90% maybe, so, or 85%. Okay, now it looks a lot better. So here it will be the messages of the user, and here it will be the messages of the bot. So let's go ahead now and create this function. So we can close the app.css because we don't need any more anything. So all the job now will be made here on the handle send. So instead of this handle send on the console log here, we want to type a function here. So first, let's get the response. So we want to get the response from the API. So if you go to, if you remember, we created a function that will send a request to the API and then we'll get the response. So now we want to get this response from the API. So let's go ahead and get this response. So just type const response equal to await, because we want to be this await, and also we want to add as async here because we're sending request to the API. So just type async because we want this to be an async function. And here now we can type await and create a send message. Actually, we have to import the function first. So here on import, just type import. And here is the function here on OpenAI.js. So just copy this send message to OpenAI. And inside this curly brackets, just paste the function from dot dash OpenAI. So here we got the function. And it's also showing an error message. So here an await, don't worry, just type send message to OpenAI. And what this will contain the message. So the message now is going to be the input, because the message that user we send, we saved it on the input state. So now we can just type input. So here we got the response, and now we can use this response to get the message and save them inside messages. So just type set messages, and now we have to set messages inside this. So it's going to be an object with square brackets, and inside here we have to get the old messages. So I'll explain you. So we want, every time we send a message, we want to also get the old messages. We don't want to delete all the messages and show only the new one. We want to also save the old messages and show them on the messages input. So on the messages object. So let's go ahead to save these messages. You have just to type 3 dots here, 3 dots, dot messages. So we want to save the old messages that was inside this object, and comma, and inside below this we can create a new object for the user messages. So text will be input, and also we'll create a variable isUser. So we want to type isUser true. So we want this to be for the user. So isUser will be true. This needs to be a comma. Okay. And then we need another object or another message for the bot. So text is going to be response, which is the bot, and then is user false, because this is a bot. Okay, now we save the messages inside the object of the state of the messages, and we have everything we need, I think. So, but after we click on send, we also want to clear this. So every time we click it, we want to make this clear, to clear the input. So to clear the input box, you just type set input to empty, just an empty string. So this will make it empty. So let's go ahead now and test it. So it's not going to do anything, just click on send. Okay, we type it, send. Handle send is here. Okay, handle send. Let's try to console log the response. So console log response. Okay, so now if we open, we click on inspect and go to console, and every time we type a message here, let's refresh first. We type a message, something dumb. Okay, as you can see, it's working, because if you type hello here on the input box, it will give you an answer. So if you click on button, you'll get an answer here, and actually it will be a long answer, but as you can see here, it responds with hi there, how are you? What's the color of the sky? For example, we can ask what's the color of the sky. We click send. If you scroll down, and here it shows you the sky is typically blue in color. So as you can see, the response, we are sending the request, and it is working perfectly. So now we can close the inspect, and now we want to save these messages on messages state. So we have them on there, and we can delete this console log. So now what we want to do is to map these messages, to show these messages. So first we want to show the user messages, and then so we're gonna create first a map function or a for loop. So to create a for loop on JSX or in ReactJS, we just create a new map function. So messages.map. So we want to map these messages, and inside we're gonna get two things. So message and also index. So index is used to is like just a number that we can use to put on the each content, on the each element. We have to put a key that is required on JavaScript. So I'll explain it while I do it. So here I want to return. So here I want to return this. So just copy and paste it inside. So actually I want only one of this. So one. And here we have message. Also we want to delete this curly bracket here. Put another one here. Okay, this is the syntax. So inside curly brackets, map messages.map message and also index. And if we save it, it shows message is not defined. Okay, so we have to delete it from here and put it inside with index. So here on this one, comma. So here is how we do it. So we have messages and index, and we save it, and then it will show you this is a user message, a user message, a user message. So it shows you all the messages, but if you refresh, it will delete them. So if you type a message here, hello, and send, it will show you here. Okay, so now it shows you like this is a user message because we have two messages. One is for the user here, and the other is from the bot, but we are not showing it right now. So let's go ahead and put the message here. So curly brackets and type message. And if we save it, it shows that you need keys. As I told you before, actually first you have to type message.text because we want to get the text from it, and it's empty. So if I type hello, press enter, hello, Okay, here it will show the message. And then what we need is for this div, we have an attribute called key. So just type key, and this is going to be index. This is required on a JavaScript, but every time you create a different object, a lot of objects, it refreshes multiple times and it messes up the objects and the components of the website. So we have to use keys. And then what we need to do here is to check if the user is message the message is from the user. We want to type the user message class name. Otherwise, we want to type the bot message class name. So to do this inside the class name, we can just delete all of this and put curly brackets. And here we want to check if the message is from the user. So if message.isUser is user. So we're gonna create an if statement in JSX or in ReactJS, and to create it, just type just type message.isUser and then check if with question mark. So if this is true, we want to return this class. Otherwise, we want to return this class. So if this is true, so if this is a user, we want to type user-message. Otherwise, with colon or else, we want to type bot-message. So we save it, and here we go. So we have this message is from user and from the bot. So if we refresh it and type hello, we send it, and we actually are not getting the message from the bot. But let's check it. Let's type again here on the function console log, so we can check from the console what is this printing. So console log response. And go to inspect in the console. And we type a message, hello. Hello. So we are getting the message, but actually we are not saving. Oh, okay. I saw where the problem is. So here we make it smaller. So here on the object we type test, not text. So it was a typo. So this text, save it, and we refresh, and then type hello, send, and okay. So it shows you hello world. What color is the sky? So the color of the sky is usually of shade of blue, but it can vary on the time of the day, weather conditions, and locations. So we ask who is Elon Musk, for example. We click on send. Elon Musk is an entrepreneur, engineer, inventor. So as you can see, guys, it is working perfect. So we can type another message like how to download Node.js. We send it, and then it shows you how to download it. So go to official Node.js website. It shows you the link. Click on the download button, homepage, choose a version, and this is how you can do it. So we explain. Let's ask for explain. Use state on ReactJS. So send. And you scroll down. Use state is a React hook that allows function components to maintain piece of state. It is an array with 2 elements, and it will explain you everything like just ChatGPT does. So we can ask another thing like let's ask like how to make money online. How to make money online. So we click send, and every time you click send, it will take some time to get the response, because we are sending the message to the OpenAI, and it'll take some time to send the request to the servers, to the API. So here it shows you how to make money online, fast graphic design, payment methods. So it shows you how some methods to do that, if you can see. So by the names and do other stuff. So here's how it works. Here's ChatGPT that I wanted to show you today. If you make this larger, here is the messages, and you can scroll. But also here on this input, you can type a placeholder to make it look better. So placeholder, type a message, or you can type just ask a question. Is better. Ask a question. Save it, and here it is. So guys, here's how you can build a ChatGPT clone with ReactJS and OpenAI API. It was very simple. We created a simple design, not something special, just to show you that how you can do it. And it's also returning human responses. And you can also play around with the temperature of the bot to get the best response. And to do that, just go to the OpenAI.js, and here you can change the temperature. You can maybe better is to make it 0.7 because you will get even better responses. So if you refresh, hello, how are you today? And just send it. I'm doing great, thank you. How about yourself? And I am tired. You just send I'm tired, for example. And then if you understand to feel tired sometimes, try to get some rest, relaxation, and yep. So I think 0.7 is the best thing you can do. Like you can get the best human response from the OpenAI. So I recommend you to make it 0.7 to get the best human response for your ChatGPT or for your artificial intelligence app. So guys, this was a video for today, and I hope you like it. Please make sure to like, subscribe to the channel, and I see you in the next videos. Peace.